I don't know, let's see it. Alright guys, how's it going? This is my first live stream, but I hope to be first of many. If you're showing up today or seeing this on my Travis Vaught art page, you should be seeing a screen of Photoshop being shared and hopefully what looks like a good drawing, though I can't guarantee that. Um, while today's live stream will be a little bit shorter than the ones I hope to do in the future, mostly what I'm hoping to do is kind of test out, make sure the audio quality is good, that everything's good, and as we go forward, maybe make this a multi-stream type thing, run it on Facebook, YouTube, all that good stuff. So uh, be looking for ways to make this more engaging and fun in the future, but figured I'd just get on right now, goof around a little bit, do what I'm good at, and hang out with you guys. So if you do have any comments or questions, feel free to answer the poll that I've added to this Facebook Live asking, where do you guys want me to live stream? And if the answer is, hey, I don't really care, man, you're welcome to put sarcastic responses on there too. I always appreciate that. So let me know what you guys think in the poll on the Facebook Live. But other than that, I'll just be drawing here for a minute, kind of hanging out, being my awkward artist self. So yeah. So what you're looking at here is a tiger from a game called Okami, and Okami gathered a little bit of a cult following almost too late. You know, it was one of the first attempts at a watercolor video game, and unfortunately for the developers, it tanked pretty hard. Only later did people realize, hey, this is actually some pretty fun. This is a pretty fun game. So the character you're looking at here isn't as well known. This is if I switch tabs really quick, one of my more popular pieces, but also the more iconic wolf character from Okami. Okami is actually the Japanese word for wolf, so that's where the game gets its inspiration from. But this tiger, the inspiration for this is pretty straightforward. I have an art book of all the Okami works, and I thought it would be pretty cool to draw a tiger. So I was like, all right, F it, I'm gonna draw this tiger. And we're here in Photoshop. So hopefully, assuming this is working, and Savannah will hopefully let me know here in a minute if it's working or not. But what you should be seeing is my Photoshop screen open. I'll be switching between different brushes and different colors and trying to make this look as not ugly as possible. So let's see. So the brush I'm working with is going to be a little bit softer, so when I paint on it, the edges won't be super hard. You'll kind of see that here. Right now that's black, and that was kind of terrifying. So I'm going to take a step back from there and make sure that everything is deselected, which it is. And then we can switch to different colors and different layers. So let's say that I want to work with this kind of yellowish color that you see here on the body. I'm going to switch to a softer brush, lower the opacity a little bit, and just kind of start to paint over that. So kind of deciding where I want to have more of that yellowish brown color that you see. Now, one thing I have to be careful of here is that if you'll notice, the body layer is over the stripe layer, and I think it looks a little bit better if I switch it up here. You can kind of see, maybe I'm wrong, but kind of like the subtlety of it being under the fur a little bit. So as I'm working, if I start painting over the red, it's going to desaturate a lot, so I might have to erase away from that. It's funny, Savannah's laughing at me in the background. There's like a 20-second delay on this live stream. So everything I'm saying is just being repeated about 20 seconds behind over in the other side of the room, which is eerie. Most people probably think I talk enough, so getting double me is a bit extreme. Let's see here. I know one thing I'm hoping to figure out in the 5 or 10 minutes or so I'll be live tonight is what I want to do in the background of this piece. Definitely been something I'm lacking vision for. Thought about just doing something similar to what you see here, just this kind of textured abstract background. For this one, I actually pulled it from a stock photo that I licensed for reuse and editing, which is cool. If you check out the layers panel here, you scroll down, you can see it here in the background. I can turn it off and on. And I've just kind of made some edits to that, some different color edits, and it's obviously not as dark as the original photo, and scaled to a different size. So that's something you'll see a lot of artists do is they'll try to add texture to paintings by putting like a watercolor paper background or something on Photoshop so it doesn't look like this made in Microsoft Paint type thing. Let's see. There's face over here. Did any of you guys play Okami back in the day? Anyone on the Nintendo Wii? I guess it'd be super cool to play it on the Nintendo DS, right? Okami Den, I think is the game. So alright, so here's a cool little Photoshop trick for you if you guys have ever used Photoshop before. So if you want to add shadows in Photoshop, you actually don't do it on the same paint layer. That way you can edit it, make it a little bit easier to go back and forth on later in case you think that everything you're doing sucks and you want to get rid of that. So create a new layer here. And I'm going to change the layer style, right? So this changes how colors interact with each other. I'm going to switch to a multiply layer, which is really good for shading. And I'll switch to a black here. And so I won't edit it too much out. I'll just kind of show you guys what that looks like. But see how it's kind of going to black way too quickly, but you see how it's sort of darkening the painting there. Now if I erase away slowly, you'll kind of see a little closer to the effect I'm hoping to get, but probably still a bit too dramatic. So let's take a couple steps back here. Alright, and then we'll make that a little more subtle. Just kind of paint over and see. It's still not subtle enough, honestly. I'll kind of do it quickly so you guys can get a vision for them real quick. Cool. So I'm not too big of a fan of just the pure black, so what I'm going to do is just delete that layer and start over, and maybe try to find a darker version of that yellow or orangish color. So switch that to multiply. And then we'll open this up here. I'm going to steal that color code. See if I can copy that. Alright, I'm going to go switch to our other palette right here and paste that in. Alright, so now here on the color management screen, we can edit a bunch of different options here, but the easiest way to make a color darker is to edit the K value here in the bottom right. So I'm going to take that slider and move, and I think that actually might be just about dark enough for a painting like this. So we'll see how that turns out. Make sure we're on the right layer. Yeah, that's a lot more subtle. Those are my natural to the piece, I think, than kind of what was going on before. The black is a bit harsh. Maybe some darker colors here in the ears. Give it that depth of field. Make it a little more 3D. Bump up the opacity a bit. Oh yeah, there we go. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, as we're doing this, I realized the biggest struggle I think I'm facing with live streaming is I don't have it set up necessarily to respond to comments very well. I think that's something I'm going to have to do in the future. Because on my tablet, this live stream is pretty full screen. I have to switch back and forth to Chrome to even maybe see what you guys are doing. And I don't even know if you can see my Chrome browser right now or not. Let's see how meta we can get. If I can see my own live stream within a live stream. That'd be pretty trippy, honestly. That's something I'll be looking up into here in the near future, because in a long-term vision, I would love to make these things at least somewhat engaging, so people aren't just sitting there not being able to interact with me. Hopefully that makes for a more interesting streaming experience. For anyone who does happen to watch this, do any of you guys ever watch TikTok Live or are familiar with it? I know that's something I see a lot of people, especially those of an Instagram following, doing, especially of late, to gain followers. Alright. I think it's gonna wrap up this test video for me today. Hopefully you guys had at least a decent time watching me be a goofball and make this video here. So anyway, feel free to comment below what you thought, and if you have any feedback or ways that you can see me making these live streams more interesting, places you think they should go, or any thoughts you guys have in general about Okami or this artwork. But appreciate you guys showing up, and I will talk to all y'all later.